You're watching TVC Breakfast. A seemingly harmless tweet from the National Identity Management Commission has put them on a war path with many Nigerians. Last week, the commission tweeted that renewal of the national identity card will cost 3,000 naira, while card replacement would cost 5,000 naira to enable it to make the item available at all times. But that tweet over fees attached to the national identity card generated and is still generating reaction from Nigerians. They are kicking against that decision, describing it as a fraudulent means to extort money from Nigerians. Well, joining me now is a lawyer and public affairs analyst, Tunji Abdulhamid. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast. Now, when you heard about these fees, 3,000 naira for renewal and 5,000 naira for replacement, some persons, in fact, some of us, it's like 5 years now before we are getting this identity card, and now we have to pay this 3,000 naira fee. How does it come to you? What's your reaction to it? Should Nigerians pay these fees?
I don't think they should pay this fee. I am surprised when I heard the news because but I'm not a bit surprised in the sense that I know the government is seriously in need of generating more revenue, and they are looking for several ways to make money. So but I think national identity cards should not be made to expire. Should not be made to be for people to pay money on it, especially when people are even finding it difficult to those who have enrolled or registered. For years, not be able to collect their own.
5 years now.
So I see it as an untimely policy. I see it as a policy that is not sensitive, and I see it as an attempt. I want to argue with some people. It's an attempt to extort Nigerians. At this level, I think a national identity card should be made like a voter's card. Now, I'm sure Nigerians can spend, the Nigerian government spend any amount to ensure people get their voters card. They should be doing this as well. Identity is very important for us.
Absolutely.
Because whenever you go, they ask you who you are. These are the kind of things you use to identify yourself. So it should be right for every Nigerian to have it. And I don't know why it should be made to expire. I don't know why. Are they saying that our citizenship will expire or something? or what's the essence? I don't understand it. But I am surprised that they are doing this at this time.
But the act that establishes the commission empowers the agency to impose fees. It deems fit rather. So how do you? How does this come into the mix?
This fee of a thing or this art of making money is what has caused a lot of issues to our agencies. Agencies that are made to do certain things, their primary responsibility will be left alone and they will go to secondary. I believe the primary responsibility of National Identity Management Commission is not to generate money. The essence of creating them is to ensure that they create, manage, and provide adequate data base for Nigeria, for government to be able to plan, not only for Nigeria, for everybody living in Nigeria, whether foreigner or, because a foreigner is also entitled to it once you are legally in the country. So it should not be thing that they will be asked to come and pay money to make it difficult for people to. Some people have even applied for years, they've not obtained it. You are at this level, you are asking people to come and pay. Some people won't be, by the time it will even come out, will have even expired.
Absolutely. So what is the implication of these fees now? Some people might be discouraged by it. Is that what it is?
In fact, some people have been saying that look, once I get my NIN, whether it expires or not, he doesn't care. You don't even need the ID card. Once you can use his number, because the number has been attached to so many things now. Because if you want to operate an account, you don't have it, you may not be able to allow to operate. If you want to obtain a passport, international passport, without the number, you'll be able to get it. Some people are saying that once I get my number, I don't care about the ID card or not. That who does the ID card help according to Nigerian
balance? Yeah.
So I think the government should not impose this fee. In fact, if I thought they want to even impose fee regarding new issuance, it should not be more than 500 or whatever to cover the cost of administrative cost of production. Not just to you should not allow our agency to be money. It's not all agencies that should be making money. And that is the essence why we are here, because everybody wants to make money and generate money for the country. And in that purpose, they will forget their their primary purpose. They will not be pursuing the secondary purpose. Look at the road safety. The primary purpose is not to find anybody who's caught, but that's what they do most these days. So we should not allow the NIMC to also go into that arena by trying to say they must make money for the government.
Some have said that this is going to, in some ways, breed corruption that we are trying to tackle.
Of course. I don't see why they should impose as much as 5,000 naira for anybody who wants to obtain a ID card. In fact, I don't even see the reason why they should even impose any amount. Because this is our national identity. This is what we need. Every country has been having it. We need database. And with this database, we'll be able to plan ourselves. So and I expect the government to be able to do, to spend whatever that it will cost to help him get. We have been trying to do this since 1977. Yeah. We don't have any agency until 2007 when we were able to get this NIMC. Now we are even being derailed from the project. Since they started this project, I have not been able to obtain my own since. Oh. I've not been able to obtain my own. The one I was able to obtain was that old national ID card. The one, yeah. That was the one so as it is today, I don't even have. Wow. So I don't expect them to impose this monetary fee at this level.
All right.
They should have even done a lot before I thought they won't even come and say, if you want to obtain a new one now, you'll be paying 500 naira or 1,000 naira.
3,000 naira for an identity card, 5,000 naira for renewal. Why do we have such? Because it seems like the National Identity Management Commission is not really having enough funds to handle this responsibility. What do you think?
Yeah, we have been told they don't have enough funds to handle this responsibility. And I think it behoves the government to make money available for them to do this, not to pass the burden on the people who are already making noise regarding the situation of the country.
What's the import of having these fees attached?
Yeah, the way I see it, the import is for government to, maybe to them, is to cover the cost of production of the ID card and other administrative expenses for Nigeria, it's a cost too much for them. It should not even come at this time where we have so many taxes already imposed. In the last 2 or 3 months, so many taxes have been created or imposed.
At what time should it come? Because right now the government is looking at generating funds, and if the government could have been able to fund this commission, I'm not certain it would have been asking for asking the body to come up with this kind of.
I'm not saying it should even come at any time, because ID card should not be what citizens should be paid for. The government, we are not paying. Are we paying for your voters card? No. Even when I'm even surprised when the government is giving us for free, people are not going for it. You could imagine where a fee is now attached to it, what will happen? There is this apathy about this collecting this card even for several years, until when they are making it more difficult for people now because of a certain position. If you want to obtain this, you must have this, you must have the number. That's why some people are even trying to obtain it now. And so, if you are imposing money, it will make it more difficult for people to even say, I want to go and collect it. What most people would do at best is to register, obtain their NIN, and then they abandon the card.
Some have also said that perhaps the manner in which the commission went about it, perhaps if it had communicated with Nigerians about these things before it began to talk about, okay, perhaps have a discourse with Nigerians to say, this is what we are planning to do. Maybe Nigerians would have reacted differently.
Even at that, like I said, I will repeat myself again. I don't see the reason why we should pay for it. We are not paying for voters' card for goodness sake. They should do it in the same way they sponsor the production of the voters' cards. Should be the same way they will sponsor. They should do this one as well. That is the responsibility of government to ensure things are done. This is even important for the government.
But government cannot do everything. No,
in fact, the government even need more this identification more.
Data collection.
Than us. So it is more beneficial to them, because it will help them plan our economic development, and for us to even have our sustainable development goal achieved. We must have this. We must capture. You must know the. You must have a verifiable database. So it is even important for government, and it will benefit the government more than even the citizen.
If government is saying, pay for this, normally you go and get your national identity card and you have to fill forms and all of that, but you will not get the card until after a very long time. I have not gotten mine till now, though. You get it after a very long time. But isn't this the easy way out? Just pay.
What is the guarantee that even when you pay, it will be given to you on time? You know the route or the route people went through to get their driver's license or whatever. I want to repeat
the driver's license, you pay for it.
Even if at all, I don't even support that of renewal. To me, as far as to me, it's a no-no. I don't see reason why the national ID card should expire. I don't see the reason. All over the world that I know, I don't see where they say the ID card expire. And even at all, the initial issue, the first issue of the card should not even be 5,000 naira. They should even, in fact, if they said 500 naira, some people will still even complain at that. You are bringing 5,000 naira. The government, the agency should not be to make money. The essence of creating NMC is not for money-making institution. The essence is to capture, to manage, create, and capture and provide a verifiable database for the country for the purpose of the benefit of the government. It will be useful for the government to plan its program. It will be useful for the government to know, in fact, if you even have our intelligence in terms of security. So what will benefit the government should now be the burden on the citizen. If the citizens are not willing to do it, the government should facilitate it. We are not paying for that for goodness sake. So they should also do that and make money available. And I know in the last years that I know, even during Obasanjo, I know that billions of naira were made available for this production of this card. Yeah. These monies were embezzled. And I also know that this one too, I don't even know how much was budgeted for it in this or maybe there was not even any budget for it. I'm not even sure of that. So I don't support any payment regarding it. Yeah, and if I thought there's going to be any payment for the first issuance, it should not be more than 500 naira.
Now, the commission is looking at generating about 108 billion naira with this amount, because you would recall that the government is looking at generating revenue, but with all of the bottlenecks, and also ensure that these cards get to the people. Isn't this justifying enough with the fact that the government wants revenue generated to also go, this revenue is also still getting back to the people, as the government has put it, and to also ensure that people get these cards effectively and quickly? Isn't this reason justifying enough for this amount being collected?
To me, it is not justifiable. To me, because it can still get to people without imposing any amount on it for anybody to obtain it. You know, you have said it. The essence is to make money for government. Government wants to make money. If they want to provide it without even thinking about generation of money, it will be done. I saw an example of a voters card. So much billions have been spent on that, and people are getting it. So even at that, people are still not getting some of their own, the voters card, at no cost. They are getting it. So they should. I don't expect anything less regarding the national identity.
But it seems the government's mind is made up with regards to that, and the commission's mind is made up.
Of course, the government is looking for money. That is not eating. They said it clearly that there's need for us to get money. We don't have money. In fact, we are planning to borrow money. My worry again, even if I thought that money is generated, will that still make it easy? Will it be possible for people to get it? Like I said, we are drilling from the NMC is drilling from its primary responsibility. The primary responsibility is not to make money. It's not to generate money for the country. They are not established to be a generating agency for the country.
But to generate
what they are supposed
data
to do is to generate data. Have we been able to get that data? We have so many agencies that have been collecting data for the last years.
That is where the next question is. We have the BVN. We have gotten so many data generation over the years. So why is this? What have we really done with this data if we are saying this is so compulsory, if we are insistent on that this is even important?
This agency has been in place in 2007. I'm not aware we still have any verifiable data. So to me, it means if we are not getting ID card, won't they be able to get the data? The ID card is an additional way of giving identity to the country, to the people. That do not prevent them from doing their major primary responsibility of gathering data for the country. Like I said earlier, this data generation will help Nigeria build its economy, will help Nigeria build its monitor its security.
But all the data we have been collecting over the years, what have we done with it?
That is the point. That is the point. There's nothing to show for it. We have been doing, money has been pumped into this agency in the last, since 2007 that they've been created. We are not seeing that result. Now you are coming up because people want to get an ID card. You now realize that they must be paying for it. Like I said, payment for renewal of ID card to me is a no-no. If at all any amount will be made available for that first issuance of the ID card, I would suggest that they will come to like 500 or so to cost at least a part of the administrative.
Must there be any payment whatsoever? I mean, Nigerians do not see the importance in getting their ID card.
I say if at all if at all, to assist,
So
so as to assist the government, because we are saying there's no money now. In order to help the government, I believe 500 naira will be enough for everyone to have his own
How
ID card.
important is this national ID card for Nigerians?
Oh, it is very, very important all over the world. National identity is very important for everybody in the world. All over the world, this is one of the cards that can make, if they ask you a question who you are, this is one of the verifiable documents that you can use to show that, look, I am an authentic Nigerian. So like I said, it helps in development, in planning our economy. It helps in the area of security. It helps to know the inflow and outflow of the people into the country. You know, so there's no, you can't have any sustainable development goal without adequate data. So it's very, very, very important. And ID card is very, very important for our identity.
All right, Tunji Abdul Hamid, thank you for your time on
Thank you,
TVC Breakfast.